Hey guys, Grassman here. So, I've recently started playing chess, and I just had one of the, I think this is one of the best matches I've had, and it's also, the first one I've won. I'm quite bad, actually, but this match got really close, and, holy cow, was this match, good. So, I don't think I can, let me run it all the way back. I'll take you through step by step, try and remember what I was thinking. So, normal opening stuff. So I see I have my bishop to his knight, but he's got his bishop there. So instead of his normalish opening, he's got my pawn there, but I had it covered. So I move my bishop up because I'm getting ready to... There's no way, I can't, drag the piece. I can't, show you what I'm planning to do. But the knight on f6, I'm planning to move up to e4, and then to f2 to pin his knight and his queen and his rook. I have to add extra cover because now he's threatening two pieces onto d5. Then he does that, which stops the bishop, and I can't move down to the other green square because it also stops it, so I had to retreat. Here, I'm threatening to... If he takes my pawn, I can take his pawn and then threaten his knight. If he doesn't, I take it, and then I also threaten his knight. He did take it. I did that. He moved down there, which now threatens my other bishop, and I just took it on my queen. So now, I have my queen watching it, so I'm getting ready for the knight play. He threatens it with the pawn. Why did I do that? I honestly have no idea why I did this. For whatever reason, I figured I should block myself, apparently. Oh no, that was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. I was testing to see if I could, preemptively, show where I would move something. When you see, analyzing of this game on, the PC, you can see, where players are going to move, and they're showing what their thought process is. Here, I screwed up completely, and that was, horrible for me, because I missed the pin. So I had no choice but to take it. I lost the bishop there, which I didn't see, and I had a plan here. So, I realized there's nothing guarding that bishop, so I'm going to threaten his bishop as he's threatening my knight and some of my back pieces. So he does take that like I expected, and I switch that so my bishop's covered and my queen is also covering my other pieces. So now it's really bad. I'm down a lot. He's up 4, and he's moved out that. So I see my queen's in problems. My queen's in... He has my queen. But if I move it up here, I'm now threatening checkmate. Because if here it was my turn, I would just take his rook and I'd win, because he'd have nowhere to go. So he moves the rook, which is one of the things he had to do. He either had to move the rook or move the king. He moved the rook, which is really smart. And that made me worried, because now what do I do? We're both kind of at an even point, so I just move up a pawn. So I'm trying to just stall him, and I think there was one other thing I was trying to do. I think there was something about a diagonal. Right, so here I'm trying to take... So to see the bishop on c8, I'm trying to bring that up to a6, a6. So then I can use the bishop to go to e2, take the pawn. If he tries to get it with the knight, which is the problem here. So I was thinking, well, I can take that pawn with a rook, but then I'll get it with the knight. Then, then I can get his rook, or his knight will take it, at which point my rook takes it, and then he has nothing to fight it with. So that was my plan. Then he moved there and he threatened my queen, so I couldn't move the bishop to where I wanted it to. And this is already, I was getting really frustrated with my previous games because I wasn't able to win. And apparently it's just because I suck, which I've accepted now. But this was actually, a really fun game, very hard. Anyway. So I moved my queen back because I wanted to still be covering the same stuff. And the exception is not covering that one pawn now. The pawn on on b6. So he moved his knight there, which made no sense, and that actually gave me a very good opportunity. So now his knight, and that, remember, his knight was what was guarding that pawn. So he moved the knight, and I had to move my queen out in response, but now, unless he moves it back, he's got nothing guarding it. So he moves it down, and it's done nothing now. All it's doing is threatening a pawn, which I can take anyway, and then my king would still be covering the rook. So at this point, now I'm able to take that pawn, and he can't fight it. He can't take it because of the queen covering. He's got to move his king back. So now I don't really have anything I can do again. So now I move... So here what I did actually have something to do. I moved the bishop up because my rook is now covering his queen. So he can't take it because of the king, and I can take it as soon as I want. He could try and move it, but I've also got the rook... I've got the rook up top on his bishop, and I've got my bishop on the king. So if he moves his queen, for example, just trying to avoid whatever, I can just move the rook down, and then I have his bishop, and he can't kill it with a pawn because I have his king in check. So he did move. He took that, and that didn't... what did I do? I think I just... What the fuck was I thinking? Looking at this in hindsight, that was a dumb thing to do. So I moved that up. Still, I think... No, I didn't know what I was doing here. I had his king in check, and I had... because of the bishop, and because of the rook. So he only had one move, I think, here. He only had one possible move, so I forced him to do that. So I was actually thinking. Then I was able to take the bishop. And without the king now, he can just take that. He could have taken it with the pawn. He took it with the queen instead. Which I think is also fine, except he's no longer threatening the bishop. So that way might have been a mistake as well. So now I'm wondering, okay, well now I'm still down. I'm down by 5 now, and I've lost, like, my ability to take his king. Remember back a couple of moves here, I had him in a really vulnerable spot. If I could have gotten my, like... where was it? Here somewhere? It's somewhere around here. If I could have gotten my queen onto his king, I could have won, but he avoided it. Here I screwed up. I don't know if this is necessarily me screwing up, but I ended up losing my rook because I moved it like that, which just gave him time to get away. But now he is on the defensive. Okay, I actually remember exactly what I was thinking here. Okay, so I figured, what am I going to do with the rook? It's going to lose... no matter where I lose it, I'm going to move it, I'm going to lose him. So I can't really do anything with the rook. I could have moved it to the white square, in which case my bishop's covering it, but he has 2 rooks there anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I figured, well, I can force his queen out. He can't move that pawn in between his king and my queen, because that puts him in check. He can't do that. So all he can actually do is move the queen. So it forces him to move his queen away. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to get the queen to get away. Because that was starting to scare me, and that was threatening like a checkmate. And I'm getting fairly close. So now you're thinking I probably lost. Well, I want to get that knight out of here now. So I want the knight gone, so I move up the bishop. Or I move up the pawn. He takes a different pawn, and now I'm moving up to threaten his queen. Because once I can get his queen out of there, I can move the bishop under his queen, up 1, and then I can move straight up to his king, and he can't take it. He moves the knight there, and now I'm worrying. Now he's got me in check here. So I move there to try and I move there to threaten the knight. He moves his queen, which is now possibly gonna... I don't think the right word is pin, because he has the piece there, but that's in line with my rook. So now I'm moving that up, and here... So here, this was accidentally what won me the game. Because there's not much he can do here. If his pawn attacks him, I guess he can move his queen back. But if his pawn attacks my pawn, then he can't do that because of my queen. If I attack his, then the next move, it becomes a queen, and I already have him in check. And because of where the queen works out, I wouldn't be able to lose. It would be checkmate. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't block. He couldn't stop both queens. He can't take the one queen either because of the bishop way there. It's covering where that would be. If I attack his pawn and then move up, the bishop's covering it, so he can't actually take my queen, which would be the one thing that saves him. So because of that random bishop, this was not planned. This is gonna work out. However, he moves me back. So the one thing he could have done is he could have moved his queen back. Moving his queen back would have let me take his knight, but I wouldn't have had anything else on him. I would have had no way to pressure his queen or anything, and that would have actually saved in the game. He moves the knight out, which I think the game I don't know what the game calculates for him, but I assume that would have been a blunder, because that queen was probably the one thing saving him. I move there, and now this is pretty much over for him, because all it takes is one move and he's in checkmate. However, he puts me in check first. So this is what he was thinking. He was thinking, instead of moving back and taking that, move that out of the way so he can force me with his rook. So now he's got me in check, and I realize at this point, all I need is one move, because of one move I have checkmate. So I need one turn. So I move back, And I don't move in, because then I know he's gonna, like, do something weird with the queen and the knight that's gonna checkmate me. So I'm moving away, and I'm trying to build one turn. He does that. Now I figure, if I move to the green square, top left, or top right, he gets me with queen. If I move left, he can't do anything with the queen. Or... he could have. You know, I just realized, he could have just taken the pawn, and that would have been checkmate. Not quite checkmate, I guess. That still would have been a problem. Had he just taken the pawn, that would have been his best move. He moved the knight instead, which put me in check again. So now I move up here. So I considered, if I move to any of the green squares, his knight will just immediately check me again. If I move to the white one, he can't. So I move up to the white, and at this point, because he didn't take the pawn to his queen, he can't do anything. So regardless of what he does at this point, he doesn't... No, he could have moved the queen over as well. Okay, this guy was just really screwing up at the end, I guess. I guess it's more of a miracle win than a proper deserved win. Looking at this in hindsight, I'm seeing all the things me and him could have done better. So he moved to the rook. Had he moved to the queen, he could have kept fighting it. And had he moved to the queen, actually, I couldn't have gone to either of the top ones. I could have gone down or to the side, but then again, his knight could have got me. His knight only could have got me in one specific spot, which would have blocked the queen then. So there wasn't anything great he could have done. He could have kept stalling me, though. This gives me the turn I needed. This was a mistake, because, again, one turn and I win. So he just needs to stall me as long as possible until he can get a checkmate off. He did that, which gave me a turn, and, I mean, he's quite close to ladder mate here at this point. He's only like 2 moves away or something. But that's it. All I needed was one move. Move the pawn up, and that's checkmate. Because he can't attack the queen. So he can't go down because of the queen. They're ladder mating him the other way. It's not really ladder mate, and he can't attack the queen because of the bishop. So it was actually like just really lucky that things worked out that way. That bishop, yeah, that bishop was a complete accident. That was like perfectly lined up for the queen play. And again, so many places here he screwed up. Like, I thought I would. When he did this, I realized I'm fucked. He's gonna checkmate me, and I'm not gonna get that turn win. I'm one turn away from him. And fairly, had he moved here, he probably would have been able to keep forcing me with his queen. Moving there was also okay, but here there's nothing really much else he can do. He can move the queen to 2 different spots and keep trying, but all I needed was one turn, and that was a big screw up. That's what gave me the ability to get the winning move. And to be clear, I suck at chess. This was a random win. This was like... I think it was also with that screw up right at the beginning, or midway through. Oops. Where was it? Here. Here I was just supposed to be I'd get his queen or his rook, and I accidentally moved that. I'm only just now eating supper. It's like 10 p.m. But, yes, that was just a very lucky win. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more chess content. I kind of suck at chess. I'd play a game, but I don't know if I have time. Fine, I'll play one game. We'll see if I have time. He starts, right? Yeah. Okay, that's a very weird start for him. He probably should have seen I had that. And cover that. You go there. That doesn't stop me. If I go up now, his queen gets me. So I need to give another layer of cover. What piece can I move into position? There's nothing I have at the moment that I can immediately do. Crap. Ugh. Okay, move out of the way. Instant noodles are great. Well, I need to develop this. Move that up one so I can get the bishop out. If I move the bishop out now, his pawn's gonna kill me. Oh, it's my turn. He moved that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I have enough pressure on that point that I should be able to win the ensuing battle, and then I can move my bishop into position to threaten his other bishop. I'll put that there. He's not got any diagonal coverage right now. All of his pieces are behind other things. This is actually pretty good for me. I'm going to pin his other bishop. Oh, what'd he do? He just moved that up. Okay, I'm still going to go there then. How much time we got? Plenty of time. I was doing a super hard Hitman challenge earlier as well. I was doing like the Hawkeye's Bay escalation. If I can get him to move the bishop, I can checkmate him. Not quite. That was a smart move. I don't actually have a way to stop this. I can cover it in case his bishop tries to attack. I can just use this to my advantage and threaten him now. Okay, I'm going to move to here. Moving the queen up. I can't move it up yet because of his bishop. If I move the... I can move the rook over one, so I can force him to move his bishop out of the way. I want to start threatening his king. Still wait on him. That was a... what? I don't think he saw the knight. That suddenly gives him a massive advantage. My queen's not in a horrible position either. This is really good for me. I'm up 11. I have 3 of his pieces pinned. He is in check here. That was good. I don't have a way to cover it. Sorry about the serpent. He has a couple pieces to throw in the way. He can't move the knight. And if he moves the bishop... Oh, shit. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Okay, that was a giant screw up. Yeah, I fucked up there. I'm still ahead. I'm still ahead by a large margin. Ran out of time, though. What's my move? Okay, I'm gonna get ready for a ladder mate. I have to worry about the knights yet, but... I'm up by a fair bit. Ran out of time, but... What do? He moved his knight there. Okay, I'm threatening his rook. I still don't have my rooks out. I need to do that. He just moved out of the way. And get the other rook out. Okay, moved there. Okay, I pinned that piece. Okay, got him in check. I do realize he could just move his knight, and then I'm screwed. I realized that's a bit too late. Okay, you didn't see it. Okay, I'm gonna go here. I realize my rook is still at risk there. I don't think he's worried about it right now, though. Oh, he resigned. Okay, I don't realize why he resigned. I guess I was up by a lot. Yeah, but anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you enjoy my content, be free to like and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more chess stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Uh-oh. I guess I'm playing again.